Hey everybody, it's Dr. Hoskins. What a glorious day. It's Friday morning, first thing in the morning. It's just wonderful to be here at the office, ready to see people, seeing all my neighbors drive by, going to work, whatever they're doing on a Friday morning. Dense fog advisory. It's just a glorious day to be here. Friday's supposed to be a funny thing. The funniest thing I can think of is we were binge watching Star Trek Voyager over the last several months, and last night we had a virus to destroy the Borg, or the Borg mutated a virus to destroy the humans, or it was absolutely mind-boggling. Back in the late '90s, early 2000s, when these series were out, even then the virus was a big bad wolf out there to destroy everything that exists. Not much different than it is today, 20 years later. Anyway, it was kind of funny to watch that. In fact, Julian got to the point, I was like, is it going to be a virus this time, or is it going to be the Borg? And the transition from season 6 to season 7 was actually both a virus and a Borg as the main theme plots in that transition. So it was kind of interesting to see that going on. Not so funny thing though is when the CDC comes out and says, "Hey guys, we were wrong. The virus doesn't do very well on hard surfaces, doesn't get transferred well on flat surfaces." It shouldn't come as any surprise, because viruses really, there's even a debate out there if they're even alive, if they're a living organism. Bacteria obviously are, but viruses, there's a debate out there whether they're actually alive or not. And if they're not alive, there's no reason they could live on hostile terrain. There's a lot of theories about there what viruses actually are. This has been going on for decades. It's nothing new. Some people think that a virus is a mutation that got cut off, and because of the RNA strand, it got reproduced in the host body until it actually got expelled. And unfortunately, that got put into somebody else's body that had a compromised immune system. So there's a lot of really interesting theories out there about how viruses work, about this whole system we have called immunology. Even in the last 5 years, seeing how much the vagus nerve, cranial nerve 10, that originates up here, how much that impacts everything in your body, your gut, your breathing, your heart, respiration, ingestion, excretion, expulsion. All of those things are mitigated, have some control by the vagus. In fact, I heard at a seminar last year that if the vagus has enough chemical authority, it can actually kill you. It can actually cause your heart to stop. Fortunately, that's rarely the case, but I do know a few people where they have what's called the vasal reflex disease, where if you have too much stimulation, either sight or sound, it actually causes the vagus nerve to do some really funky things like heart palpitations and other stuff. So it's just really interesting, and we have to step back and realize that we don't is to know about anything, and yet we walk around with this arrogance that, hey, we know everything and therefore the science is settled. No, it's a level of understanding, but we really don't know. When they discovered the DNA, when they discovered the chromosomes and how they might work, and the 4 base pairs make up all of DNA, they thought that was the end-all be-all of genetics and, end-all be-all of evolution, end-all be-all of science. Everything is wrapped up in the genome, and what we're finding now is that's just the start. There's things called telomeres. There's things called epigenetics, where it's all the code is there, but not all the code is active all the time. Otherwise, we'd be dead. Certain parts are activated by another control system or environmental stimuli. It's just a really complicated, wonderful contraption that we live in. And so not so funny thing is when these people walk around saying, I know everything and I know what the future is going to hold. And even though we know viruses don't live on hard surfaces, you have to do this, that, and the other to prevent this virus we know nothing about, that we're going to predict something really bad's going to happen because we've never seen it before. It just boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind. Now, do we need caution? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We don't live perfect world. We live in a cursed world. So yes, we're not going to be able to fend off everything that comes our way. However, we do need to be cautious about things. We do need to think more openly. We need to be less dogmatic about it, and need to be less religious about our science, and actually open up science to be scientific. Take thoughts, be open to alternate ideas, be open to all the new stuff. With the CDC saying that hard surfaces don't transmit the disease very easily, many people are going to still insist on everything being wiped down every 30 seconds or every minute or every 2 minutes. It's just going to be interesting how the dogma and the fear is going to control us more than the science that we say controls us. Anyway, just some thoughts, not very funny here at the end, but viruses and the Borg go back decades. So have fun, have a great weekend. We'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.